What is going on, guys? Eagles are tied 14-14 at the half. We're breaking down our top reactions here. Let's jump right in. Wow, this is not exactly going as we expected. If you watched our pregame, I literally talked to this. As much as all the signs point to a kind of a rout on in the favor of the Philadelphia Eagles, you look at the kind of the Houston Texans. They have a knack for kind of making teams play down to their level. They've only lost, I think, one game by more than one score. They've been able to kind of keep better teams hanging around, and here we are, Shane, 14-14 at the half. Go ahead, man. Quick thoughts.
I mean, you didn't expect Davis Mills to have almost 150 QB rating.
Wow.
That's what I was talking about on Twitter all
Wow.
week. I said the Texans are a great football team. They're they're gonna be tough competition, and now I mean the biggest thing for me so far. You look at the defense. We asked how will the defense handle losing Jordan Davis when it comes to run defense, and the answer is not well, not well at all.
Yeah, let's jump right in. Damian, the story of the game so far has to be this Eagles' lack of run defense. Damian Pierce has 88 yards on the ground in the first half, 6.5 yards per carry for Houston in the first half. They don't have a touchdown, but they've kind of been able to punch the Eagles in the mouth a little bit on the defensive line. I'm very shocked at their ability to kind of move this Eagles defensive line in the first half. So kudos to that, man, especially on that one big run by Damian Pierce where you saw you saw Pierce get to the second level with Chauncey Gardner-Johnson missing a tackle, Darius Slay missing tackles. This is any given Sunday in the NFL, man. We have comments. Ryan, my man Ryan Reese is in the house. Let's fucking go. What's going on? Ryan Quinton's in the house. Like Kelsey has way too many bad hikes in his career, and Eagles need to pick up that defense. Again, it is 14-14. The Eagles coming into this game had 31 more points than the Houston Texans in just the first half alone. And we are looking at a 14-14 score. They only had 7 points in the second quarter. I'm going to throw that out there, Shane. That's probably the lowest output they've had in the second quarter in a very long time. Let's jump right into Jalen Hurts, man. 14 of 18. Jalen Hurts has 176 yards, 107.4 quarterback rating. Like, just real quick thoughts on Jalen Hurts.
He's playing well. The offense is humming. I mean, they've had 4 possessions, 2 touchdowns. You have the fumble where they picked up chunk plays, and then you have the missed time snap, and then the final one was the missed field goal. So they're moving the ball at will. The offense looks really good. That said, the Eagles are putting on a master class at how you lose to a bad football team. You have special teams mistakes, you miss field goals, you fumble the ball, you're unable to tackle. Like, everybody knows what Houston wants to do. They want to hand the ball to Pierce, and so the offense is going to be in for a shootout if the defense doesn't figure something out. But I've thought the offense has looked really good so far.
Master class of losing to a bad team. There's been some firsts in this game. You saw the Texans score a touchdown on their opening drive. They haven't scored a single point on opening drive this season. It was their second first quarter touchdown the entire season. And if there was a takeaway this entire first, 7 games of the season for the Philadelphia Eagles, is Jalen Hurts and his ability to avoid giveaways. And sure enough, we had a fumble here by Jalen Hurts. I am pretty sure that was his first fumble of the season. I think they've only had like 3 turnovers on offense this season, man. Let's just get into the second half, man. What do you want to see? What kind of adjustments do you expect the Eagles to make in the second half?
I would like to see them stop playing light personnel and light boxes. Like, you know what Houston wants to do. They want to run the football. So stop countering 12 personnel with nickel defense. That one big run that Pierce had, the Texans literally had one guy split outside the hashes, and the Eagles had 6 men in the box. So eight blockers, 6 defenders. You tell me what you think's going to happen. I mean,
yeah,
you've got to counter that, stack the box, go heavier personnel. Especially, Fletcher Cox was back in. That's good, but without Jordan Davis, you're gonna have to make some adjustments, and then wrap up and tackle. Like that tackle attempt by Chauncey Gardner Johnson on that long run, just throwing a shoulder at the third level like that. That's a benchable offense. Like you do that on a Friday night, you do that on a Saturday in college, and you're getting pulled off the field. Like that's unacceptable
Mhm.
from a guy who wants to be a starter, who wants to get paid. I would imagine that there's a message being sent in the locker room right now about how we're
Yeah.
going to come out and play in the second half.
It's hold on, real comments real quick. Kumar says, "Are we tired or rusty?" That's possible. I mean, this is what happens when you're going up, on a short rest against a team away. You're playing down to their competition. Quentin says, "I just think we aren't good against run. If there was an Achilles heel about the Eagles defense, it 100% is against the run, and we're seeing it here. Fletcher Cox goes down. Hargrave did make a sack here, but this Eagles front seven is just getting bullied a little bit. And even look at this Houston Texans offense, man. They've got 5 passing first downs. They've got 6 rushing first downs, 2 of 4 on third downs. They're doing a good job. 7.3 yards per play, which is more than the Eagles, which is hands down one of the best downfield offenses in the NFL. The Houston Texans are playing very well. The Eagles just need to step it up.
Yeah, absolutely. You could look at it from the other side and say that about everything that could go wrong for the Eagles in the first half did, and about everything that could go right for the Texans did, and yet it's tied. So
Yeah.
when you're the underdog in these types of games, you don't want halftime to come because it's sort of a time that you can reset. And typically, it's going to come out of the locker room and be a different story. So
Yeah.
I would expect in the second half the Eagles to come out and sort of turn this into the game that we thought it was going to be. But it's scary. You put yourself in a situation. You come out and Jalen Hurts throws an interception on the opening drive, or there's a strip sack. The ball goes off a guy's hands. All the fluky things that can happen, and all of a sudden the Texans have a lead on their home stadium in the third quarter, and it can get dicey. So they put themselves in a precarious situation. I expect them to pull themselves out of it, but you don't want to play with your food like this.
Blue City Empire Sports says trap game. Is this the first trap game we're going to see here, Shane? Because pretty much across the board, Nick Sirianni and the Eagles coaching staff has had this team really prepared week in, week out. And I don't think the Eagles are playing bad per se. I think it's mostly just the defense. You look at 98 yards. Did I read that right? 90. Where's rushing? 98 yards rushing for the Houston Texans. When you've got nobody for the Houston Texans at wide receiver, like I don't know. Like it seems like the defense has gotten caught with their pants down just a tad.
Yeah, if there was ever a game to just place cover zero, just man up on the receivers. You've got great cornerbacks, they've got no receivers. If there was ever a day to just play straight man across the board and put your safeties in the box, like we're going to be +2 in the box, this is it. And
Yeah.
I don't know. I am not concerned about Davis Mills throwing the ball to whoever is playing receiver for the Texans. Like I'm pretty big like draft and football degenerate, and I can't name a Texans receiver. Nico Collins is out. Brandon Cooks is out. I legitimately can't tell you the name of a receiver on this team right now. And we're playing light boxes. And that just doesn't make any sense. That's a pathetic game plan from Jonathan Gannon.
Yeah, that's exactly what needs to change in the second half. Sean's in the house saying, "What's up, guys? Damian Pierce needs. Damian Pierce is wrecking us so hard. He's hard to take down, just like he did in Florida." Dude, how many times did we mock Damian Pierce to the Philadelphia Eagles during the NFL draft season, man? It was all the time. Kamar says they got mauled last week by Henry. I imagine we're keeping our powder dry here, and in comes a big second half for 26, man. Miles Sanders. Let's talk about Miles Sanders before we wrap it up and head to the second half. 8 carries, 54 yards. The biggest play was him just stiff arming my man Derek Stingley Jr. One of those runs and just threw him aside for a huge run. Miles Sanders was my player of the game prediction, of course, as pretty much everybody else's, but he's got a touchdown. He's got a long of 25, which might be his season long. I could be wrong. I might be wrong on that. I think he had one more longer run. But real quick on Miles Sanders before we wrap it up.
Yeah, I would expect him to continue to get carries in the second half. I mean, it's not like the Eagles aren't able to throw the ball either. They're moving the ball at will on the Texans defense. Aside from a couple of miscues, the missed time snap, the field goal that they wouldn't have even been attempting if they weren't running out of time in the second quarter. So I expect the offense to continue to do whatever they want to against the Texans, including grinding the ball out with Miles Sanders.
Oh man, here we are. I thought I was going to have a early night to bed, watch the Phillies. Not so much here. 14-14. Eagles do get the ball to start the second half. Shane, any plugs, man?
Yeah, I'm going to be on the BGN post game show right after the game, so you can go check that out. Follow me on Twitter at @halfandhalf_TPL. I'm live tweeting clips from the game, and give me a subscription on YouTube at Shane Half NFL.
Yes, one of the best Eagles follows, period. Go follow him on YouTube. Go follow him on Twitter at @halfandhalf_TPL. For Shane, for myself, stay awesome.